always get better. And one of the things that I want to do is have a morning and night prayer with special prayers for each time of the day. Maybe once, if things get better, I'll also do a noontime prayer. But for now, morning and night. And what's different is I changed the name from meditations with Shalom Kazan to mental prayer, because somebody might be searching Google and they're searching for meditations and they might find some Buddhist stuff or Hindu or something like that. And I don't want that. I want people who are searching to find exactly what they're looking for. And I also don't want to confuse people who have maybe clicked onto my site and they're like, meditation, what's this? So mental prayer is what I'm going with. If you Google that, you're mostly going to find Christian and Catholic stuff. So I think it's a better terminology, and I don't want to get too down a rabbit hole with this because we're going to go ahead and get started with our mental prayer. But just for people who maybe are followers and notice the change, that's what it's all about. Today's topic is success in war. Now we're going to pray our enlightenment prayer in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. My God, I firmly believe that thou art everywhere present and seest all things. Cleanse my heart from all vain, wicked, and distracting thoughts. Enlighten my understanding and inflame my will that I may pray with reverence, attention, and devotion. An interesting thing that I'm doing with these morning and night prayers is I'm using the same quote and the same reflection, but giving it a little morning idea and a night idea. So this is a quote from the previous night. For the success of war is not in the multitude of the army, but strength cometh from heaven, from the first book of Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 19. And another great thing about mental prayer is you don't have to change what you're doing all the time. With mental prayer, you could pray with the same quote every day for the rest of your life and still get new insights out of it, because we're asking God to enlighten us based on this quote. And there's so many different things you could learn from one quote. The depths of the scriptures are just mind-blowing. So just want you to reflect on the quote for a little while, and then we will read our reflection question. All right, moving right along. I want you to sit quietly and consider if you relied too much on your own strength lately. Maybe a day ago, a week ago, a month ago, or maybe you just constantly relying on your own strength. Think about it, and have you done it too much, or are you relying on Jesus and God more so? So just think about that. Quote, for the success of war is not in the multitude of the army, but strength cometh from heaven. All right, our next reflection question is, how can you rely more on Jesus during tough times? So sit quietly for a few minutes and consider how you can rely more on Jesus, not just during tough times, but any time. And the quote is, "For the success of war is not in the multitude of the army, but strength cometh from heaven." All right, moving on to our Thanksgiving prayer. Almighty and eternal God, I adore thee and I thank thee for all the benefits which thou in thy infinite goodness and mercy has conferred upon me. And a resolution, the most important part of a mental prayer, what makes it different from a vocal prayer, you ask? Well, in a vocal prayer, which is the prayer that most people do most of the time, you are asking God for something, you're thanking Him for something, or you're praising Him. With mental prayer, you are reflecting on some words that God inspired you to read or an idea, and you are using that reflection to change your life for the better. And that is where the resolution comes into play. And I repeat this pretty much every time I make a new video or podcast, because it's so important and so many people miss it. The power of the mental prayer is that it changes your life. Vocal prayer can change your life as well by begging and begging and begging God to help you. Of course, you're thinking about how you can become better because you're begging God to help you. And God, a lot of times, will give us grace and mercy and just infuse those virtues into us. But at the same time, we are called to practice those virtues and get rid of as many sins as we can with whatever we can do through our power. So making resolutions such as these is pleasing to God because He wants us to stop sinning. As He said many times in the Gospels, go forth and sin no more. So here's the resolution for today. Based on this reflection, we should resolve to avoid every single sin we can, but most especially we should resolve to avoid pride, because pride is what makes us believe we can make it without God. Pride is what makes us believe we are strong enough to defeat the enemy, which is Satan and all his evil doing angels. We have pride like he does if we believe we can do anything without God. So be humble, ask God for help all day, every day. Pray without ceasing, like St. Paul says. So we want to we want to avoid pride as much as we can this day, today. And now we're going to say our resolution and morning prayer. My God, I offer thee these resolutions. Unless thou deignest to bless them, I cannot be faithful to them. I beseech thee most earnestly to bless me, that I may serve thee faithfully this day by a perfect devotedness to all my duties and a steadfast adherence to all my promises and good resolutions. And that's it. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Thank you, and God bless. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit the bell. If you're on any other social media channel, follow. Also, go to sdcason.com for these daily meditations in text format. We have over 300 Catholic quotes and more coming every day. And we have prayer books. I just released a new prayer book. If you're into Marian devotion, this book is Marian Devotions for the month of May. It has prayers for every single day of May. So go check that out if you're into that kind of thing. Until next time, stay holy, my friends.